Hey, what's up, guys? Got another new video here for you. This is Tuned In Sports. My name's Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
I'm Nanook.
Up the north.
And I'm going to need help getting out of here after all that food I just ate. We got the Thanksgiving edition of the college football, regular football, NFL, actually. We hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully you don't need to be airlifted out. Yeah, hopefully you can walk out under your own power, and hopefully the pie was plentiful. So, and also hopefully you checked out some girls in your city.
Speaking of pie.
Yeah, speaking of pie. Exactly. Well, excuse me. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the wonderful football that we got to experience here today. Two games. Unfortunately, the Ravens and the Steelers game was canceled due to COVID. And also, unfortunately, that was really the game that everybody really cared to watch, I think. Unfortunately, the other two games didn't exactly... I guess they did kind of live up to the hype because there really wasn't any. So I guess first we'll talk about the Lions game. As I mentioned in the update video, the review for the Lions this week will be on this particular thing, not on the Week 12 review. That'll be a separate video. So Detroit ended up, taking another L to Houston at home. They continue that glorious home record, and they lost 41-25 to the Texans.
Yeah, I actually watched most of this game.
Stay awake for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to stay awake for it,
You didn't get the cramps?
Generally, there isn't entertaining games when you're talking about the Lions, so, it's hard to stay awake. So let's get into it, though. Tough game for the Lions. Yeah, Texans just got turnovers and, took advantage of the turnovers. Well, they had, the Lions had 3 turnovers in the first half. I mean, that's,
Tremendous.
How can you do that and expect to win? I mean, you can't.
Well, they didn't win, so they didn't expect to.
I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying, overall. I mean, you're not going to win with that bad of a turnover differential. I don't believe that the Texans turned it over once. Did they?
They had one fumble.
One.
That was the one that they were back and forth at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But besides that, the Texans played a lot cleaner game. And, yeah, ultimately led to them getting the W.
Yeah, I mean, it was another game that they started out on top again with the Lions scoring first. And then it just, pick six, and then followed up the next play and cough it up again. And then next, they're down 2 scores, excluding the extra point that was missed. But, again, starting back uphill as usual. Bright spot, they actually ran the ball some and actually was, kept them in the game for a bit. And then eventually it just, horrible plays. And Houston just kept on scoring and Detroit couldn't. So, And that was pretty much the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, they actually won in quite a few categories. I mean, they led in the time of possession. The total yards was, not terribly. It was actually really close. They even actually won by 4. And in a lot of the categories, they either were really close or winning. They won the time of possession, like I said. They won the penalty battle by a lot. They only had 4 penalties as opposed to 10 for the Texans. But they just, 3 turnovers, and that really was the difference. And especially it was the difference when it just happened right out the gate, basically consecutively. And really, I feel like it just kind of took the wind out of their sails a little bit, to be honest with you. I think they were like, oh, man, we got a chance today. And then all of a sudden it was like, man, when it rains, it pours, I guess. and just all of a sudden nothing could go right. They couldn't stop anybody on defense, and it doesn't help when they're starting either in the end zone or inside the 30. Good luck to any defense. They actually did a decent job on a couple of plays, at least in the first half, of holding them to field goals, despite being in horrible positions. So they actually did a decent job in the first half of staying in the game, but then in the second half, it just, I feel like adjustments in terms of really getting better, I really feel like this is where it seems like the Lions and the difference in the coach really shows, because I just feel like it seems like almost weekly, whether they win or lose, the team that they're against makes adjustments to try to get better, come back in the game, and stuff like that. And it seems like the Lions are just coming back out again with no real game plan or anything. They're just like, hey, all right, time for another half. Even again in the game against Washington, they didn't score hardly any points, and they let them back in the game when it was basically a no contest at halftime, or it should have been. But I'm just saying, it seems like weekly they play decent in the first half. They're either winning or it's a close game, and then in the second half it just isn't. And I feel like that comes down to coaching, because I just feel like they're not making the adjustments that they need to win. Now, like Dad said in previous videos, they are making adjustments. They're making some adjustments, all right, but
making the wrong one.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I think that comes down to coaching, because we've talked about, each of us at this point has talked about, it's not a talent issue. They have a lot of talented players. Now, right now, to be fair, they are dealing with some injuries. They didn't have Galladay today, and they also didn't have DeAndre Swift, which didn't help matters. But at the same time, the mistakes that they were making, I don't think it mattered that much. Galladay wasn't the reason why they fumbled twice. And even if he was on the field, they still did that. And then the interception that Stafford threw, again, didn't matter who was on the field. Maybe it mattered on the offensive line, because that guy he was getting bum rushed right away. But apart from that, having a couple extra weapons out there wasn't the difference in those plays. So
Yeah.
I really just think it comes down to coaching. They're not making the adjustments, and then questionable play calling by the offensive coordinator as well, or whoever's calling the plays.
I was going to say, and also the defensive coach letting those receivers run wide open down the field.
Well, yeah, that didn't help.
Hey, you might want to adjust on that. Hey,
Yeah.
That guy's only got a 15-yard catch radius around him. You might want to tighten that up a little bit.
They're practicing social distance on defense from the offensive player. It's like, again, is Galladay going to help that? So I just think, they just look unprepared almost, and it's weird, because they've only started from behind in one game. They were talking about today, they blew like a 14-point lead, a 7-point lead, a 14-point lead. They almost blew a 20-point lead against Washington, and then there was one other game where they blew, I think, a 10-point lead or something.
They blew a 24-point lead in the Bears game, I think.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that was the other one. But I'm just saying, that's ridiculous. And again, what adjustments are being made at halftime? Are they watching film? The common things.
You're watching Dumbo.
They're watching porno film is what they're watching.
Yeah.
How to take it in the ass. Here we go.
Enjoy it.
How to look good.
That was an accurate assessment, Bryson. That was well put. I think what you said right there said a mouthful. From initial kickoff, the first series went about as good as it could have went. They went down the field. The running game was working. Hawkinson looked like all-pro material. Everything was nice. Everything just boom, 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 all the way down the field, score. I'm thinking, man, this is awesome. This looks really good.
Uh-huh.
And that's where it stopped. Literally. From there, it was just a total mess. The turnovers. Stafford throws a pick six. Just horrible pass. I mean, there was some rush there, but still just a horrible pass. And then fumbles. I mean, just all kinds of shit that's going on. And one of the things that I noticed today that was, and we talk about this before on other stuff, is why not just take the 25-yard on the kickoff? They constantly, all day long, tried to return it and never got to the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
So you're starting in the hole every flipping possession. Every possession, we're starting behind the 8 ball. Where if you just stay there, boom, let's go to the 25 and start.
Yeah.
Constantly starting behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, I think I only saw him fair catch it once.
And then, on the other side, the fucking kicker kicks one out of bounds, to help
Them
Houston
start
at
the 40.
Yeah, but Houston started at the 40. We're having trouble stopping them to begin with. Now you're giving them super good field position.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree with everything you said about the adjustments and stuff being made. Patricia, for whatever reason, is just a horrible. He doesn't make adjustments. And for whatever kind of a coach he was at New England, he ain't that good here for sure. And I truthfully don't think he was the one making the adjustments anyway. Probably Belichick saying, "Hey,
call this.
We're doing this."
Yeah.
Because he's already proven to me that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Because this guy, I mean, I don't know. I'd be surprised if he's on the team by next week. They got 10 days.
This would be the week to get rid of him.
They got 10 days to get a new coach in, and truthfully, I don't see anybody on that coaching staff right now that I'd really like to see in the position. I know they were talking about this guy that's the kickoff coach or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Buff that guy too.
Nice kickoff.
Yeah,
Kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, kicks it out of
That's
bounds.
the guy you
and then
want.
he's got the guys returning the fucking kicks when they should just be sitting on it.
He sounds like our type of man.
I mean, just ridiculous. I don't think they have a coach on the staff right now that's worthy of having the job. I definitely think Bevel needs to get his ass out of town. I mean, that guy's a horrible offensive coordinator. Horrible. And, by the way, this was the first time since all this shit's been going on that Stafford hasn't backed the coach. Today they asked him after the game about the coaching situation, and he wasn't, saying, it's not the coach's fault, it's ours, whatever. Today he was like, I don't know what this is. He goes, I don't know. That's somebody else's decision. But usually he's always had his back to a point and wants to help take blame for it. Today he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Probably called his wife and go, hey, start packing.
So, I mean, I have a feeling that, he's
Time to
tired of
move.
seeing it. He's tired of seeing this horseshit show as well.
Yeah.
He's wasting his talent, what he has left of it. He's wasting his talents there. And, I truthfully believe that was probably the last Thanksgiving Day he's going to play as a Lion.
Yeah, it could
Because I really feel like,
he's done.
if the coaching staff leaves, they bring in a whole new GM and they bring in a new coach. Is the coach that comes in going to say, well, let's stick with Stafford?
Yeah. Well, and also he's going to have to relearn everything. You know what I mean? Just like if you're going to relearn, might as well relearn somewhere else. At least you're winning.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there will be suitors for him.
Yeah.
As soon as the season's over, there's going to be people calling, hey, we'll take him. And, I wouldn't mind seeing him win on another team, honestly, because I'd like to see him win a championship. Or at least have some success somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's been the biggest waste of talent that this league has seen. He's got, all the arm strength needed to make all the throws and everything. And it's just constantly, another coach, another coordinator, just inconsistency across the offensive line. Talent-wise, I think they've actually accumulated some decent talent offensively. But even that's not great, either. But anyway, just a totally frustrating day for them from a standpoint of Lions football. And I'm hoping that, something's going to happen to where let's make some changes. That way, maybe this team will get their head out of their ass and start playing this football. It's just so inconsistent, and I hate to see it. I mean, and truthfully, the fans are lucky they're not having to endure it. You know, I mean, everybody can turn the channel when they're at home. If you paid your ticket and you're sitting in the fucking seats,
and you're sitting in traffic thinking about it.
Right. I mean, it's a much more frustrating experience being at the game.
Yeah.
You know, because then you got to sit there, and even if you leave early, well, I mean, I just paid how much money to sit in this fucking seat, and now I'm going to leave early?
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like, you know,
yeah, it's not like not like a $5 high school game.
Well, and also you got to stay home and enjoy some nice turkey this time instead of you know.
No,
having
they
it ruined.
can at least turn the channel. They don't have to endure it. They can say, "Fuck this, I'm out." You know, I've seen enough. And you know, I mean, obviously, everything I've seen on Twitter and stuff has just been brutal towards Patricia. I mean, the guy really should just fucking resign. Have some class and resign. Just say, you know what? I'm not the guy for this job.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I want to go back to New England where I belong.
Tail between my legs.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, he should resign because he's going to get fired anyway. Might as well resign.
Yeah.
Make it look like you said that you were done rather than getting fired for it.
Depends on the contract structure and how it goes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he gets fired, he gets guaranteed money. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just how this thing's going to work. But top brass has got to be able to make this call in soon.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I'm sick. I mean, if he goes, just take Bob Quinn with you because this is how ultimately the coaching side of things falls on Patricia, but the rest of it falls on Quinn. You know.
Yeah, but isn't Quinn really the one that's trying to address the talent and stuff like that? I mean, I don't feel like he's done a bad job of.
Well, he was the one brought in Patricia.
Well, there's that, but I'm just saying I don't feel like he's done a bad job of amassing talent. I mean, we always talk about how they should be better than their record. I honestly feel like even though they had some injuries, that they have a better team than Houston does. Maybe I think Houston's got a great quarterback.
I've seen a lot of good players leave. And them get virtually nothing for it.
Well, there's that.
And when you got guys walking out of the system, guys like Darius Slay and some of these guys walking out and then badmouthing the place as they leave, it's just not a good sign. I mean, that starts at the top. And really, the ownership should fire themselves. I mean, truthfully, that's where this really needs to start. You can bring another GM in, but if the mindset from the ownership is still, we don't really care about winning, you ain't winning. I don't care if Bill Belichick's sitting in there. You're not winning. Can't do it. Can't win with him. Can't do it.
You can get the Bill O'Brien interim combo pack.
Yeah.
He's got experience too for head coach.
I'm a firm believer at this point that I don't know that anybody's going to change this. Really, I really don't know.
You just need somebody to just stopgap it and just take the fall for the rest of the year, and just thanks, I'm done, and then walk away after that. After the season's over,
somebody needs to address the Fords and to say the league needs to come in. The league needs to come to the Fords and say, look, we've seen enough of this shit show for the last 67 fucking years or whatever it's been, and just say, look, you obviously don't care about winning because you consistently put less than stellar product on the field. More so than any other team in the league. Truthfully, if you look at the length of how long they've been in business and the quality of teams that they put out there every year, I mean, they've had little to no success. They don't make playoffs very often, very few and far between, and when they do, they're out in the first round.
Yeah, and when they do, they fire their winningest coach.
Then they fire the only guy that won any games for them. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, the whole thing is the mentality at the very top. The ownership needs to change. The Fords are not going to win. They're not going to accomplish it. They keep proving themselves all the time about how we can fucking lose another season. We'll get rid of these guys. We're going to try this. Okay, great. And then the next coach comes in with all kinds of mindset to want to change stuff, and it never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Caldwell was the only guy that stepped in there and had some success.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
he was fired because he had too much.
Yeah.
Well,
he checked too many boxes to win.
well, I mean, just look for instance at like the Dolphins. I mean, last year they were one of the worst teams in the league. Couldn't do much right in a season, in an off season between draft picks and free agency. They turned themselves into a playoff team. I mean, I'm not saying they were bottom of the barrel, but they definitely weren't, somebody that anyone was worried about playing. It was usually like, oh, good, we get to play Miami this week. We got a bye week. This year, they're a team that when you got them on the schedule, you're in for it. And that was really completely based on what they did during the offseason with free agency moves and trades and stuff. And that just goes to show that if you want to win and you want to get competitive, you can do it. I mean, it's not that hard.
You can have a quick turnaround, that's for sure.
I mean, there's no excuse to have a season where you go 3-13 or whatever the hell the Lions were last year, and then this year, you try to make some moves or whatever. A lot of them were lateral moves, and you let some people go, and then here you are once again. I mean, what do they have? 4 wins, I think. 4-7. I mean, come on. There's no
Lions
reason for that.
arrest fire the coach moved the team out of Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, let's move into the Cowboys game.
Okay, I'll start with this one. I was rooting for the Cowboys.
Oh, that's a problem.
Well, partially because of what happened last week, but, I also, Dalton's on the Cowboys now, and he was a former Bengal, so I always wish the best for him. He's always been known as a pretty good guy, but he didn't look so good out there today. Cowboys ended up basically getting smoked. Didn't play very well on either side of the field, really. And Washington just looked like the better team. I mean, granted, I wasn't really surprised that Washington won, but I had picked the Cowboys. And Washington, I had picked the Cowboys in the preview. Washington got a lot of pressure on Dalton, which I had predicted. So, I just don't think the Cowboys are really playing for anything at this point. I don't feel like they're really out there, they're playing lifeless, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And,
No, crazy as it is and as bad as they've been playing, they're still right in the hunt for the division, which is crazy to think about. I think the best team in that division right now is probably the Giants or the Redskins. I thought the Redskins were going to be the one that would take it myself earlier, a few weeks ago or whatever. But this to me was another game where, Alex Smith is getting better and better and better every time he goes out to play. And he's only getting more and more confidence in not only his, just his what he's seeing on the field and how he's reading the defenses and all that, but he's probably getting a little more confidence in his leg and this and that every week that he's able to go out and have success. Now, with that being said, he can turn around next week and get, back on the DL in no time flat. But, every week that he's playing, he's getting better. And he's always been a pretty good game manager anyway. And as you said, Don, earlier today, he's not going to throw the game away for you. He's going to keep it, he usually makes the smart play. If he needs to throw it away, he throws it away. Or he'll dump it down to a guy that's not, it may not go for big yards, but it's not going to be a negative. And so he's doing the little things that you need to do to be successful again.
Yeah.
And, I saw today already where they're trying to re-sign him because they want him to be a Redskin for next year or, a football team guy.
I really...
A football team guy.
FT.
Yeah. They want him to be on the football team.
Now, here's a question. Is the owner of the Lions, was he saying that he has no interest in being on Washington, or is he just saying he's not really into football? Because he said, I'm not a football guy. Maybe he doesn't want to go to play for the Redskins. Washington football team.
Yeah, you know.
That's all he was saying, maybe. I don't know.
But, you know, in my honest opinion, I think, you know, Alex Smith getting the chance to play might have been the best thing that could have happened for the Washington football team. You know, because ever since he stepped in there and started playing, they've been playing some really good football.
They're playing better and better every week.
So it's, you know, this might have been kind of a, you know, blessing in disguise for him. I mean, and you got to realize also that Alex Smith's probably playing with a chip on his shoulder because he, you know, wants to prove to everybody that he can still play at a high level. So, yeah.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, and I mean, right now, they're going to be dangerous as far as the division goes because they got enough talent, I think, to play with the rest of the teams in this division. Now, with that being said, didn't they just get clobbered last week?
No, they beat us last week.
Oh no, they beat the Bengals.
No, but the week before that, though.
Yeah, I think they lost to somebody in pretty heavy fashion. But
yeah.
Again, I mean, like I said, I mean, Alex Smith is coming back, and it is only his second start, I think, today. And I mean, I thought he made some improvements from last week, and he just looks to me like he's getting more and more comfortable out there, and which is a great thing for him. Because I mean, he really was a better quarterback to begin with before he got hurt, you know, and never was really given his due for things that he was doing. But yeah, it's nice to see.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty short with it because I really didn't watch much of the game, not going to pretend like I did. What I will say, though, is that, you know, during the first half when I was kind of glancing at it while I was doing some things, it was a pretty close game. Or at least it was, you know, the score was close. I don't know what the field, I mean, just because it's a close score doesn't always mean it's a close game, but I'm just saying the score was pretty close, and I was like, wow, okay, this is going to come down to the wire. Then I missed the entire, you know, from probably midway of the second quarter through the rest of the game, I did not see another snap, and I found out later that the ending score was like 42-16 or something, and that really surprised me because, like I said, at the last time I had watched, they were involved in a really close game. So I don't know what happened, but I can imagine they played like the Cowboys have been playing this season. And good job by Washington for taking care of the Cowboys, especially on the road, because playing in Dallas is not always an easy place to play, even without fans. So good for Washington. Pains me to say that, but, you know, well done. And you got the first place in the division now, so there you go.
Yeah, this is pretty much, you know, Thanksgiving, right? So you got a second helping of trash. You know what I mean? I mean, this game was pretty much pretty much a carbon copy of the first one, except all the turnovers of the same type of variety happened in the second half instead of the first half. You know, just horrible play by Dallas. You know, good job by Washington to take advantage of it and played well. But again, you know, same thing as always. You know, go with percentages. You're going forward on your own end of the field. You're doing double reverses on your end of the field. What the hell? You know, again, just play normal football, right? Fourth down, punt it away. You know, don't try all this gadget stuff because it doesn't work. And also, you're in the game.
Yeah.
Why do it? I mean, I totally understand if you're down and, you know, hey, throw it at the wind. But, I mean, you're in the middle of the game and you're doing all this stuff. So it's just, you know, pathetic play calling and coaching. You know, again, which obviously, just like Patricia, it obviously shows McCarthy wasn't the head man. It was Aaron Rodgers, you know, in Green Bay. So obviously, you know, it's coming to fruition that you can see here that he's not some offensive genius that they claimed him to be up in Green Bay.
No.
So.
No, the offense is actually much better when what's his name was there last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clappy Garrett and Kellen Moore, but yeah, it was just bad. You know, it was just really horrible NFC East football.
I was gonna say,
That's all I have to say about that.
it looked like a divisional game.
Yeah.
Trash. Yeah. So, with that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and cap the video off here. If you like the content, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that other stuff. If you're interested in girls in your area, make sure you go back to the preview, roll through the comments. You can find them there. And Hot Sisters also. They had some Hot Sisters on there too. So thank you guys for that one.
Some new additions.
Yeah, exactly. So, but this was Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And, as you go through the rest of your week, stay safe and get ready for some more football, I guess.
Stay warm.
Yeah. And I was going to say, in Detroit, just do this like the Ford Pinto and blow it up.
Yeah, I think they could easily take 2 L's this week if Patricia still has his job by the time of the next game. You know what I mean? I definitely think so. So, it's like one of those things we talked about in a previous video too, where it's like, well, if you get rid of him, is there really anybody that you're going to bring in that's going to replace him right away, unless you want to do the Caldwell route? But at this point, it's like the team doesn't even look like they give a crap about it anymore. The quarterback is losing faith, and he's getting hurt.
Yeah, you might as well go in full tank mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go ahead and just tank. Just don't even give you a chance to win. Just go ahead and just take the L's and then see how high you can get up in the draft board.
Yeah,
I really feel like Galladay's not playing just because he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an injury situation.
Yeah. Well, it's like Trufant, right? You said earlier. He's like, oh, hamstring. Okay, I'm done. You guys play.
Well, I wasn't sad to see that because he's garbage anyway.
No, but you know what I mean, though. But compared to the other guys that were out there that were that had no clue of like, hey, is that guy in the Houston uniform? Am I supposed to cover him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. I just like I said, I don't envy anybody going into that fucking place right now trying to coach it. And I think they're probably going to lose Galladay because I don't think he's going to want to stay there. He's going to be on the first train out of Dodge shortly.
Yeah, and they're going to find a way to screw up his
and he's another guy that's got big time talent. Very good player. One of the top receivers in the game. And they'll find a way to lose him.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen. I know it. He's going to exit himself out of there. He's going to pull a fucking Darius Slay and say, I want out. And then, slay the the organization on the way out.
Yeah. It's going to be another Golden Tate situation, right? The way that happened. It's like good receiver, and then let's let him go, and then he'll show up somewhere else and play well.
Like Bryson said, I hope he goes on the Eagles. Well, I guess it'd be nice for him, but I'm just tired of watching these guys walk away from Detroit, frustrated and pissed off. And it's just not good, man. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and last thing to wrap it up is if Dad has to hear another time about how, when Patricia got there, he had a lot of work to do. he might go down there and personally fire him. Because that's just ridiculous. It's tiring to hear the same press conference and the same... Yeah. Oh, well, we got a lot of work to do. We still got a lot of good, tough opponents, and all the respect to the other team.
Yeah, let's give credit where it's due here. Yeah.
You suck!
You don't make adjustments. You don't do anything. Anything that's working, you get away from it. So
yeah,
it's almost like you're trying to outsmart yourself.
FSU of NFL.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, guys. Well, Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
I'm Doc.
I'm Steve.
And,
I need a puke bag.
See you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.